this is Angela here from Soul Tarot. Welcome to your weekly energy reading for the 1st to the 7th of February 2021. These are the cards from Rebecca Campbell, the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and I love connecting to these because they do bring through inspiring messages for the week ahead. And so they're very much about getting more to the heart of what's going on energetically rather than it being anything forecasting. You know, what's the energy, useful energy, helpful energy that you can use for the week ahead. So they're very good to give guidance in that way. So every week at 7 p.m. on Sundays I release this video on YouTube, and thank you to those people who've selected a card on Soul Tarot with Angela on Facebook. And of course the YouTube video is on Soul Tarot with Angela on YouTube. So before I go ahead, I did want to say here that we're coming up to eclipse. We're in the middle of eclipse season, meaning we've got an eclipse coming up in a couple of months' time, and I'm seeing the shift between when we had the last bunch of eclipses in December to now. And what I'm picking up on is that we're changing at quite a rapid rate. And what I mean by that is we're aligning more with who we really need to be. Now, as I've mentioned before, 2021 is quite an emotional year, very much focused on healing the emotions from last year. You know, letting go of the grief, letting go of the huge amounts of change and adjustment that we've had to make, you know, in our psyche, not just external circumstances, but the amount and the rapid rate that we've had to adjust is what has caused so much depression, so much anxiety, because, you know, life is just not going to be the same, but it can be a lot better. And that's what you people have still been grappling with, letting go of what was, and you're still kind of in that transition. So we are collectively in that transition of still, with these eclipses that I'm talking about, of still being in a state of coming out of a cocoon. You know, we're still transforming ourselves. So there's a lot of energy around us that is definitely shedding, definitely being more ourself, not being who the world wants us to be, what authority wants us to be, what our partners want us to be, what we've grown up to be, but just to be in a state of love and trust and faith. And, you know, that has taken an event like COVID to really wake us up in a lot of ways. You know, and it's a process. It's still unfolding. We've got a Mercury retrograde that started yesterday, the 30th. I'm recording this on the 31st of January. So I've talked about the Mercury retrograde several times, but just a reminder, do expect sometimes there'll be travel delays, communication breakdowns, you know, transport delays, you know, things like that. Just expect the unexpected with communication and travel. That's really, in a nutshell, what Mercury retrograde is all about. But the other important thing is, and card 3 kind of plays this out a bit, is a time for reassessment. And this can be reassessment in all areas. It can be to do with your emotional life, to do with your work, with anything, you know, that's not working for you. But, you know, specifically, it's very good to make sure with Mercury retrograde that you are checking communication, that you're preferably not starting a job then, not signing really heavy contracts. You know, it's not a good time to start anything, but a great time to reassess, review, revise, refine, you know, all those RE words. So it is a very good time. It happens a few times a year, and you know, where things just seem to kind of not move forward and they stand still. So, and that's okay, you know, because it's a good time to have a look at all the things that we're doing and what are we spending time on. Do we still want to spend time on that stuff? You know, so getting really honest with ourselves. Okay, first card we've got, yes, All right, now there really isn't much to say about this card except yes by 50 or yes by 1,000. Okay, all it's really saying is whatever it is that you are connecting to when you select a card 1 is don't overthink it, just say yes. So there's no hesitation, you know, there is too much going on in your mind, and you know, you already know that you should be saying yes to whatever that is. A new opportunity, go out on a date with a hot guy, you know, whatever it is, just say yes. Okay, what can go wrong, you know, and often it's our fears holding us back. Okay, so it's just say yes. Now I'm not sure what you're saying yes to, so you know, obviously, you know, safe yeses, but you know, whatever it is, when you pull this card, it's about trusting. All right, the second card, play. So this is pretty straightforward. You know, this is about getting into your inner child, getting out of being serious and getting, you know, some time out with a bestie. Go and hire a movie, or you know, watch something on Netflix, have popcorn in your PJs, whatever you do, or even do it by yourself. You know, go on a date with yourself. You know, I know that there's been a lot of isolation. I think people are a lot, again, as I was saying before, a lot more resilient in being able to spend time alone and enjoy it. You know, because we've had to be isolated. So we've had no choice for people, especially that live alone. So get out of that serious mindset. You know, give yourself some time and space, because I often find when I do that and I work less, I get so many more ideas that pop in because my brain has got space. So it's really, you know, schedule it. You know, even if you're raising young kids, you know, every Sunday afternoon for 2 hours, you know, whatever it is, 2 to 4 o'clock, I'm going to go out. You know, it's always healthy to have scheduled time with your, you know, by yourself or with other people. You know, you've got to kind of get out and express yourself. So this can really raise your vibration, of course, and you know, you then going to connect to different experiences when you're at a higher vibe. You know, that heavy energy versus light energy, okay, the helpful versus unhelpful energy. So just always being constantly aware of where's your energy vibrating at. Now, the other thing is with this card, and I love this here, this bottle of champagne. This is just about celebrating how far you've come. You know, it's a kind of like a watershed moment that you've worked really hard, and now it's time to celebrate. So go out, have a party, have a glass of champagne, but just reflect on the hard work that you've created to get to that point. So this is all about playfulness and fun. Right, last card. We've got Align Your Life. I can really relate to this card at the moment. So this is about, you know, perhaps you could be feeling a bit stuck in your life, and sometimes we have these thoughts about situations that we hold on to because that's all we've done in the past, what we've done in the past, you know. So it's habitual, you know, unhelpful habits, you know, and it's just time to make a change. It's because, you know, there is this feeling here that you're not quite in alignment. You can see the face and how it's not fitting in the puzzle right now. And it's because you're out of alignment. And I feel like that a lot of this is mental. This is coming from your state of mind. So it could be that, you know, you think that the world wants you to be a certain person. They want you to show up a certain way. And maybe you don't feel like doing that anymore. It might feel like, you know, you don't want to be a permanent employee anymore. You want to be a freelancer. It could be that, you know, you're waiting on a relationship to happen when you know you've been waiting and putting energy in, but now it's time to let go of the waiting and just move your life forward and just see what happens. So it's really sort of just aligning with, you know, and this is self-love. A lot of this is self-love too. And this is about, you know, removing that mask and defining yourself by what truly aligns with your path right now. So you could have outgrown some relationships or ways of being, of jobs. in your life. And that's not a bad thing, you know. As I mentioned, you know, Mercury is going to help with this, the retrograde, because it is a great time to reassess those things. Because, you know, life always puts you in the right direction. It just might take longer in some cases, but you'll always get there. You'll just get pushed if you don't do it yourself. So bring all the parts of your life into alignment and don't resist change, because it is a natural cycle of life. Okay. All right, so I hope that's made sense this week. As I mentioned, the energy this week's very much about, you know, being really, you know, striking a bit of a balance and being playful, but also being true to yourself, you know, because you do have the intuition here to be who you truly are. You already know who you want to be, right? Because you decided before you came here with your soul contract. So just keep going with what's in your, you know, what you desire, what's kind of driving you, and just let go of overthinking. I hope that this reading's helped this week. Just give me a shout on Facebook, Soul Tarot with Angela, on Facebook, or my website, soultarot.co, if you want to book a reading, as this is a general reading only, so it might not resonate with everyone. So give me a shout if you want an individual reading. So thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you next week. Have a great week ahead. Bye for now.